Wow, what a performance. It's finished Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 1 here at Emirates Stadium, and the Gunners in that second half in particular were on fire. The way the game started, it was interesting because I felt like the pace was a little bit slower, the tempo was a little bit slower, which is something that you can kind of associate, I suppose, with European football. Both teams were trying to figure each other out. I felt like Arsenal figured out pretty quickly that they couldn't necessarily always play through Bayern, and so it was best to play over the top of them, and that was working really well at certain points in that first half. Arsenal doing what they do best, which is scoring from a set piece. Jurrien Timber getting a goal that his recent performances have undoubtedly deserved to put Arsenal in front. But then Bayern responded just 10 minutes later. A wonderful, wonderful goal from Lennart Kohl. He's a fantastic player, 17 years old. What a prospect he is. But it came from Joshua Kimmich dropping deep into that defensive line, getting on the ball and playing a beautiful diagonal out to the right-hand side. And then Michael Olise showing his excellent technical ability to play it across the face of goal first time. And Lennart Kohl was there to turn it in and mark what was a brilliant occasion for him as a 17-year-old, getting to come here and play in the Champions League. But listen, Arsenal go top of the pile in Europe now as well, which is pretty amazing. When you think about the problems that we've had of late with player availability and all the rest of it, to maintain this standard and to maintain this level is really remarkable. It was great to have Madueke back in the squad, Martinelli too, and of course Martin Odegaard. All of them got on the pitch. Madueke and Martinelli having a big say on the outcome as well. But that second half display is what I really want to focus on, because that for me was the best half of football I've seen from Arsenal all season. We were brilliant in every single aspect. Yes, Bayern are a side that are going to come out and play against you, so they offer a very, very different challenge to the low blocks that we normally face, and that does leave you space. But Arsenal figured out to perfection, I felt, how to expose Bayern, and we did it to great effect throughout that second period in particular. Really enjoyed the way that we were threatening from set pieces again as well. And I know that's been a big feature of our game, and we're mocked at times and we're called set piece FC and all the rest of it, but there are times where that's what the game calls for, and we broke the deadlock via a set piece, and we threatened to score a second on multiple occasions via that route. Now in the end, the second goal came from some brilliant football down the left hand side, which shows we're a football team as well, not just a set piece team. But there were a couple of points I wanted to highlight. There's a couple of performances that I really want to highlight. I want to highlight that performance from Declan Rice. Incredible. He was everywhere, winning duels, winning tackles, carrying the ball into the spaces, driving forward. He was a real driving force for Arsenal throughout the game, but in particular in that second half. Jurrien Timber was outstanding again, not just his goal, but the way he marshals and polices that right-hand side and makes it his own is just truly incredible. And I don't think I'll ever get sick and tired of seeing it. And it's funny, isn't it? Because often I talk about Ben White and how disappointed I am that Ben White doesn't play more than he does. But then you look at Timber's performances and you think, if you're Ben White, there's no way that you'd be able to... Nice one, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Enjoy. Take care. Some listeners of the pod there from Norway. Brilliant to meet loads of you down here at Emirates Stadium tonight. But yeah, what was I saying? I was talking about Jurrien Timber, I think, policing and dominating that right-hand side. I was talking about Ben White. Like, obviously, I want him to play more because I think he deserves it. But how could he possibly knock on Mikel Arteta's door right now and say, I deserve to play at right-back, when Jurrien Timber is turning out displays like this game after game after game? If I've got one slight concern from tonight, it's, did we put too much into this? Are we going to feel it come 60, 65 minutes at Stamford Bridge? You have to hope that the changes that we were able to make as the game went on will minimise that risk. But listen, we said it in the build-up to the game. This was too big a match in terms of the occasion, the fact it was Bayern, there was an opportunity to go top of the pile, for us to kind of, down tools or rotate to a point that would clearly disrupt and impact our ability to perform at our maximum. We've come out here, Mikel Arteta's made just 2 changes to the side, and it's funny because I was mocked earlier on the YouTube comments for saying that he would make only 2 changes, and for saying it would be Mosquera and Luis Skelly in for Nkapie and Calafiori. That's exactly what it was. Look, Madueke gets the second goal, brilliant move down that left-hand side. Calafiori's assist, fantastic. And Calafiori, for me, had to come on at that point because Luis Skelly was just struggling a bit, I felt, with Michael Olise But Calafiori shutting Elise down and then showing what he could do at the other end of the pitch with a brilliant delivery for Noni Madueke. First goal for Arsenal. I think I'm right in saying that. And you could see what it meant to him. You know, prior to his injury, there was a lot of praise for his performances, and rightly so. But I kept saying, you know, it's all well and good, but he's got to start putting numbers on the board, and he started that tonight. And then the third goal, which took it all away from Bayern, was just... it was remarkable, wasn't it, the way it unfolded? Because Bayern were coming down the right-hand side, and it was Martinelli who pinched the ball back for Arsenal. And then a few passes later, it was into Eze, who picked him out, by the way, for his goal against City. He knew he was making the run. He knew he was busting a gut to get there, and he clips it over the top. I don't know what Manuel Neuer was thinking coming out that far. Completely got it wrong. Martinelli goes around him, carries it a few yards and rolls it into an empty net to seal the victory. Listen, this was a really high-level game, really high-quality game between two very, very good sides. But Arsenal came out on top, and this will be a massive confidence boost for everyone. I know confidence is high anyway. I know the belief is there. But I think when you overcome hurdles at which you've previously fallen, and Bayern Munich represent that for us. How many times in Champions League history have we been knocked out by Bayern Munich? And I know, given the new format and given that we're in the league phase, there isn't that same level of jeopardy. But you have to say that overcoming them, it means something, and it will mean something to this group. Arteta was, you know, for the whole time, he was, he was snapping at his players. He wanted them to keep going. He wanted everything to be perfect. He was orchestrating it all from the sidelines, which was great to see. We saw Martin Odegaard return. We saw Martinelli and Madueke return with goals. The only negative really is of course, the injury to Leandro Trossard. Now, we don't know how serious that is. I don't want that to detract from what was undoubtedly an unbelievable night and a beautiful night for Arsenal here at Emirates Stadium. But given his form of late, that will be a concern. The good news is that Martinelli and, of course, Madueke are back in contention. Both will be full of confidence. Both will be buzzing for the opportunity potentially to play at Stamford Bridge. So at least if you're looking for a silver lining, this happened at a time when we can cope with it. Look, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back, of course, on Thursday morning with a full-length podcast. We'll be live at 10 a.m, so come and join me for that. Don't forget to leave a like, hype the video, subscribe, all of that stuff. And if you're listening on audio, you know the drill. Leave us a review. That really, really does help. Leave your thoughts on tonight's performance in the comments section, and we'll be back with a very, very fun and enjoyable pod where I'm sure I'll be smiling from ear to ear throughout the duration. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's been an extraordinary night at the Emirates. People said this was a game between the two best teams in Europe. I would say that was probably fair. Arsenal have shown maybe that right now we're the best. Thanks for tuning in.